Kettlebell training is notorious for building lean, athletic physiques because it provides the perfect blend of strength and conditioning. However, the kettlebell isn't the only contributor to a lean physique though, and just like you can't outrun a bad diet, you can't out-kettlebell one either, which is why in today's video I'm going to break down exactly how to optimize your nutrition to not only fuel your kettlebell workouts, but also to maximize your recovery and shed body fat. And if you stick around to the end of this video, I have even more information that builds off of the info in this video to ensure you absolutely crush your body composition goals. With that said, before getting started, we need to make one crucial mindset shift. Eating real food isn't dieting, it's just eating. And eating whole foods is the foundation of fueling your kettlebell workouts. And this is exactly why we aim to have 3 items on our plate at every single meal. 1 is a good sized portion of animal-based protein. 2 is a carb, like fruit, rice, or potatoes. And 3 is a pile of non-starchy vegetables, which are veggies like romaine lettuce, spinach, chard, cucumber, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, collard green, celery, and the list goes on. And for those of you wondering why I didn't include fat in this, it's because protein and fat coexist in nature. So there will be some fat already in your protein source, and you will also get some fat from whatever cooking oil or animal fat like butter that you cooked it in. Which, by the way, most people forget to track when trying to lose weight, so if you're not already tracking that fat you're cooking your food in, this is your friendly reminder to do so. But now that we've laid the foundation for each meal, how much protein should we be eating? Some people say 1 gram per pound body weight, others say 1 gram per kilogram body weight, and the reality is this: how much protein you consume really depends on factors like age, sex, activity level, as well as the type of activity like weight training versus walking. But assuming everyone watching this video is interested in kettlebell training, a good general guideline for men is to shoot for anywhere between 40 to 60 grams of protein per meal, and for ladies, shoot for 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal. Which is a lot of protein, but remember, anytime we are trying to lose weight, it's important that we are losing the right type of weight. In other words, if we don't eat this amount of protein while in a calorie deficit, we could lose weight in the form of muscle mass, which we don't want. However, a high protein calorie deficit, like what I am suggesting here, ensures that we are maintaining our lean muscle mass and even building someone doing our kettlebell strength work, thus allowing us to shed the pounds in body fat. And speaking of kettlebell training, what should you be eating before your workouts to optimize your performance? And how long before your workout should you be eating it? Now, in most cases of consuming carbohydrate, I would suggest that you consume it with a protein or a fat to prevent the blood sugar spike and the inevitable crash a couple hours later. However, the exception to this rule is 15 to 30 minutes before your training session. In other words, if you want to be ready to smash your strength work with the kettlebells, you should be shooting for roughly 15 grams of carbohydrate 15 to 30 minutes before your workout. And the reason being, the sugars in your bloodstream from consuming the carb by itself will be readily available for use during your session. And since carbohydrate in the form of glucose in the blood and glycogen stores on our muscle are the primary fuel source of energy for strength work, that pre-workout carb is key. And by the way, a half a banana is roughly 15 grams of carbohydrate, which makes it a super convenient pre-workout carb option. But there's still one extremely important aspect of properly fueling for your workouts that must be addressed in order to maximize your strength gains. That aspect being what to eat post-workout to accelerate the recovery process and build lean muscle. Which is simple, we just need protein, right? Wrong! Sort of. Let me explain. Do you remember how I was saying earlier that carbohydrate in the form of muscle glycogen is a primary source of fuel for strength training? This means that consuming protein post-workout is only part of the recovery process, and while protein often gets the spotlight, replenishing those muscle glycogen stores is crucial for optimal recovery, which means that a post-workout carb is massively important. And ideally what we are shooting for post-workout is a 3-to-1 ratio of carbohydrate to protein to hit the sweet spot for recovering from your strength work with the kettlebell. Just to make sure you heard that correctly, that's 3 parts carbohydrate to 1 part protein. And now, even though we have covered what your plate should look like at each meal, how much protein to eat in a day, and even pre- and post-workout nutrition, unfortunately, this video only covers one of 4 components that contribute to massive changes in body composition. But at the beginning of this video, I promised you more information that builds off of what you learned in this video. So if you want to learn what the other 3 contributors are to an effective calorie deficit and shedding body fat, check out this video here, and I'll see you on the next one.